Hello viewers. So in this video, very important discussion we will do on the methods of job design. So let us start with some examples, one story. For example, if an employee working in particular task, assume that task 1. So maybe he's a receptionist or a accountant or a quality controller. So any job he is doing. Now what will happen? He will be told to do some other task. So he will be loaded with task 2 of similar nature. And again on the other side, he will be again told to do some other task with the same task, with a similar nature. So here, the employees are assigned, we can say that, a varieties of tasks or duties on the same level. So ultimately, this is called as job enlargement. So job enlargement means addition to the present job of same skills, and it's also a horizontal expansion of the job. So be clear with the concept. ಜಾಬ್ ಎನ್ಲಾರ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡುವ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ವಿಶೇಷ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಕೌಶಲ ಅಗತ್ಯವಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್, and this definitely I think job variety will be there. It will reduce the monotony, but I think there will be no additional responsibilities. You are adding only number of tasks, but there will be no additional responsibility and there will be no additional monetary benefits. So coming to the concept of job enlargement. So job enlargement is a horizontal restructuring approach of job design, where the scope of the jobs is increased by adding more tasks or activities to the present level. So this will be done definitely to motivate the employees to perform multiple tasks. So at a time, employees can engage in multiple tasks. So as a role of the personal assistant or the receptionist. So they need to do a multiple task at a time. So here, only you are adding the number of tasks without any additional responsibilities. So this is a very important clarity you should have on job enlargement. Only you are adding number of tasks without any additional responsibilities, and this additional task does not require any special skills and without any monetary benefits. So here you don't require any challenge. So challenging is not there, but definitely it will reduce the boredom of employees. So it involves the expansion of the job and width of the job by means assigning a certain closely related operations here. The same ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಕಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, the job is closely related to that particular present job. For example, a clerk in an office doing a typing work may be assigned of drafting a simple letters or sorting a mail, filing of papers. ಈಗ ಈ ಮೂರು ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. So original work is typing the documents. In addition to this, he can sort the mail, he can fill in the papers. So definitely this will reduce the boredom and make him satisfied with the job, and his efficiency will also increases. So job enlargement means finally you can make the job interesting by assigning varieties of what is the task and duties on the same level. Now coming to the merits, it increases the diversity of job and widens the knowledge of the employees. It increases the employees satisfaction level also. It reduces the boredom in the work, and it creates versatile and trained employees, because at a time they are handling multiple jobs. So definitely employees will be versatile, they will be flexible, and definitely they will learning in that particular job. Coming to demerits, it adds work burden without any rewards. I think no employee will be accepting the job enlargement. So ಯಾವ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅವ್ರು ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದಿಲ್ಲ unless there is some incentives or rewards. And it against the principle of division of labor and specialization, because division of labor says that the whole work to be divided and you should allot to the workers. But in job enlargement, what will happen? You are giving at a time multiple tasks to the employees, and simply giving a worker more of the same job, sometimes it will may not reduces the boredom. So this is about the job enlargement. So be clear with the concept of job enlargement. It is a horizontal expansion of the job, and you are adding additional like a number of tasks to the employees of a same character. Now coming to the another technique to explain that, we'll start with example here. For example, if employee is doing one particular task here, now he will be loaded with another task of more responsibility. So employees will be made more responsible. So responsibility will ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು. Again he will be loaded with another job. This contain additional responsibilities. So here we can see that the vertical expansion or vertical loading will happen. So whenever you will be expanding vertically, so that is called as job enrichment. So addition to the present job but of different skills and making the job challenging, so that we can say as job enrichment. So till now I think in the method of job design, job is challenging only in job enrichment. So you are making job enrich here. So it increases the content of the job, or you are deliberately adding the responsibilities, the scope, and the challenge in the work. So it is actually directly related with the Herzberg two-factor theory of motivation here. It's one motivational technique also we can say. It focus on the need for the challenging jobs from the employee side and interesting work. So when I think job is enriched, definitely the workers will be provided with the opportunity for their achievement, recognition, advancement, and growth. So the popular definition given by Robbins, job enrichment refers to the vertical expansion of the job. It increases the degree to which the worker controls the planning, execution, and evaluation of his work. So starting from planning, he can execute and he can evaluate the work according to his plan. So complete freedom is given to the workers. And according to Albans, job enrichment, sometimes called as vertical job loading, is a job redesigning strategy that focus on the job department. So these are the motivational theory given by Herzberg. So hygiene factor means only the monetary incentives will be focused here, with the pay or with the fringe benefits or providing some good working conditions or providing job security. So here you can motivate employees. But on the other hand, motivational factors also is there. Recognition. If you praise the employee in front of others for their any accomplishment or sense of achievements, or if they provide with the growth and opportunities or promotion opportunities, or if they will given responsibility, so freedom in the work. So all these are the methods we can make the job enrich. So futures of job enrichment, definitely I think the diversity in the job you can have. Employees definitely will require additional skills so that it will improve the skill of the employees. And next, decision freedom, I think definitely employees will get here. So they can plan and they can execute, they can control, and employees will be given additional responsibilities, and it will develop the employees and work become more interesting, and definitely it is a motivational tool. So example here to explain the job enrichment concept. For example, a worker, instead of simply machining a piece of job on a machine, the worker with an enriched job would perform machine setup, machine the piece, inspect the output, accept or reject the output. If necessary, he can repair the machine. So all the freedom is given to him. So more responsibility, additional responsibility here you are giving to the employees. So the various techniques of job enrichment, incorporating more responsibilities into the job. Here you can add the task, or without adding task also you can add responsibilities. And next, adding new tasks and providing freedom feedback to the employees here, making employees to understand the importance of their job in achieving the final goal of the organization. So employees will be feel pride. So they feel that their job is very important to the organization. And minimizing control and providing freedom to decide the working method, the workflow, or maybe the pace or speed. And we can say that allowing the employees to set their own standards, monitor their performance by providing control information, and encouraging employees to participate in planning and innovating, introducing new, difficult, and creative tasks, and assigning the specific projects to individuals or groups to increase their exposure. So, coming to the advantages of job enrichment, definitely it enrich the role of employees, because employees will be given additional responsibilities, and this will make employees feel satisfaction in their job, and it provides a meaningful learning to the employees, because employees will be moving higher in the organization, and it makes employees more interested in the work by providing them greater autonomy in the work, and it helps in reducing the rate of turnover, the attrition and absenteeism. It increases the skill, performance, and morale among the employees. It improves the decision making skill. It reduces the boredom, means monotony. The culture will be reduced here. The frustration, the stress of workers will be reduced here. and the overall output of the organization rises qualitatively and quantitatively. And coming to disadvantages, all jobs it is not possible for enrichment. So technology may not allow enrichment of all jobs. So this is the one major disadvantage. And second one, enrichment again, it will increases the cost of training and counseling, and definitely you will have the resistance from employees to take the additional responsibilities. If employees are happy with the present job, so they will be hesitated to take the additional responsibilities. And lack of capabilities on the part of employees. So sometimes you can give additional responsibility, but on the other side, if employees are not capable of handling that job, so in that case, I think the job cannot be performed at the expectation. And very important, labor union will not agree for the job enrichment, because unless there is any financial incentives, so only taking additional responsibility, you will get the objection from labor union, and there will be negative impact on employees because of maybe the job enrichment. And finally, there will be opposition from the superiors or supervisors also. So this is the main concept of job enrichment and job enlargement. And next we need to proceed with the final concept, the difference between job enrichment and job enlargement.